final thing from that article, one postseason prediction. Cavs will take down the Magic in 6 or fewer. Magic had an excellent season behind a tough defense and relying on Paolo Banchero to provide the offense. In the playoffs, though, Cavs have more scoring from the perimeter in addition to their defensive big men. You know, Sam, it's especially true this year. Niang adds something, Strus adds something, and I think those guys will be magnified in a series. What do you think? Just the keys to this series when you look at it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's, you know, the Cavs did add veterans. Max Strus obviously went to the finals. These guys are all X factors or guys who are going to help in the locker room that weren't on the team last year. Max Strus got to the finals. George Niang has a lot of playoff experience with the Sixers and the Jazz before that. And then you think about the guys who may or may not play just being in the locker room. Tristan Thompson's a new addition. He's been an invaluable voice during his suspension. When he came back, you know, a lot of the Cavs were saying, you know, it's such a big boost to have him back. And I was kind of like, yeah, really? And they were like, no, it's all about his leadership and his instruction and, you know, just him helping guys while they're on the court. Tristan's almost like a coach on the court. And then the addition of Marcus Morris, too, who's, you know, was signed for the rest of the season. Another veteran guy who's been around the block and understands the playoffs. So I think that, yeah, it's just a different element to it. As far as that post there, I couldn't have said it better myself. I think the Cavs, you know, should be able to make fairly quick work of this series if they're playing even their B minus level game, and that's no disrespect to the Magic, but they're almost like an 8 seed this year.
All right, before I let you go, when you look at it, what are some things you want to see that would be good signs moving forward from the Cavs, assuming they're going to advance? What do you need to see against the Magic to feel like, all right, they got at least a puncher's chance against the Celtics, who presumably would be next?
Yeah, I think that the best thing that you can hope for from them is, number one, with the Cavs would be, you know, I don't think their defense is really ever in question. Obviously, that needs to be up to par in the playoffs. But, you know, the ball has to move, which has been kind of up and down since the All-Star break. They've seemed almost a little bit out of sorts offensively since the All-Star break, and that may have something to do with Mitchell coming in and out of the lineup. But regardless, now he's here. You have to move the ball better than you have been since February. And I think, you know, a huge thing is going to be playing with an edge and being physical. Unlike you were last year in the playoffs against the Knicks, you've got to bring that edginess this year because you can get away with stuff in the playoffs. You can be more physical. And I think that they've learned that lesson from last season and being pushed around by New York. And, you know, it's their turn to go in and play with an edge, play with confidence, be physical. And, you know, I think that's going to be a huge factor in if they're able to get beyond the second round is just, you know, not that whole not back down mentality.